This chilling tale takes place in a quiet home where childhood innocence was shattered by a terrifying encounter. Prepare yourself for a haunting journey into the depths of fear as I recount the nightmarish events that unfolded during one unforgettable night. I was just a little kid and loved staying up late on weekends, watching TV until I fell asleep. One night, I was almost asleep on the couch when I heard a noise on our front porch. It was the sound of our old-fashioned porch swing moving back and forth. I was scared, so I crept toward the bay windows and peeked out. Sitting on the porch swing was an older woman, probably in her 50s, wearing only a nightgown covered in blood and holding a huge kitchen knife. I freaked out and ran screaming to my parents' room but couldn't form words. My parents saw. I was upset, but when I finally told them my dad got angry, he said it was just a dream, and to go back to bed. I refused crying and screaming until he grabbed my arm and dragged me to the front door to prove nothing was there. I fought all the way, trying to make him stop, but he kept pulling. Finally, we got to the door. He unlocked it, swung it open, and said, "See, there's nothing." To this day, I have never seen the look of fear and shock on his face when that woman turned and stared at us, slowly standing up with the knife. My dad slammed the door shut and got my mum to call the police, while he got his gun. He went back with a 12 gauge and cracked the door enough to stick the barrel out. He asked what she was doing, and she said, "Somebody killed my husband, but it wasn't me. My dad said the police were coming," and she freaked out, grabbed the knife, and walked away. The police found her 15 minutes later, trying to break into one of our neighbors' houses. I never slept in the living room again. This bone-chilling tale takes place in a seemingly ordinary neighborhood, where evil lurked behind the facade of normalcy. Prepare yourself for a journey into the depths of madness and terror as I recount the horrifying events that unfolded during my childhood visits to my grandparents. I was just a kid when I first encountered her, the woman who would haunt my nightmares for years to come. My grandparents lived in a quiet town, and my aunt resided just 2 houses down. But between them dwelled a creature straight from the pits of hell. She was a towering figure over 6 feet tall, with a massive frame that seemed to block out the sun. Logging chains hung around her neck, clanking ominously with every movement. Her attire was a bizarre mix of a dress and work boots, as if she couldn't decide whether to attend a tea party or fell a forest. I remember the first time I saw her. My heart nearly stopped as I watched her scrubbing the outside of her house with an almost manic intensity, her eyes wild and unfocused as she muttered to herself. The adults warned us to stay away, but their caution only fueled our curiosity. Whenever we passed her house, we would run our little legs pumping furiously as we felt her gaze burning into our backs from the windows. I swear I could hear the chains rattling, even from inside the house. The journey between my aunts and grandparents became a terrifying gauntlet. We never dared to run alone. One Halloween, my cousin Tommy dared us to trick or treat at her house. The very thought made my blood run cold, but I couldn't back down. We approached her door, our hearts pounding in our chests. As we rang the doorbell, an unholy cacophony of slamming doors and clanking metal erupted from within. When she finally answered, I thought I would faint from sheer terror. In her massive hands, she held what appeared to be a severed head, its lifeless eyes staring directly at us. We screamed and ran faster than we ever had before. The adults dismissed our fears, saying it was just a Halloween prop. But deep down, I knew there was more to it. A month later, our worst fears were realized. My parents received a frantic call. My aunt had been attacked. The chain-wearing woman had tried to decapitate her with a rope saw while she was carrying my baby cousin. My uncle thankfully intervened, beating the assailant with a fire poker. But the nightmare was far from over. The police investigation uncovered horrors beyond our wildest imaginations. The woman had been digging an intricate network of tunnels beneath our homes, secretly burrowing her way into our lives. But it was what they found in those tunnels that truly chilled us to the bone. Deep underground, they discovered a macabre shrine adorned with real severed heads. The garden she had so meticulously tended was fertilized with the earth from her twisted excavations. each flower nourished by the soil of her madness. My aunt survived, but the scar across her neck serves as a constant reminder of how close we all came to becoming part of that underground horror. To this day, I can't look at a garden without wondering what secrets might lie beneath the soil. And sometimes late at night, I swear I can still hear the faint clanking of chains echoing in the darkness. A chilling reminder that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places.